So there's I'm not the only version of yourself that's expressing the same thing. Uh, the same sort of thing. Here's good. Found a guy, a god on the internet.
Your thoughts have to implode. What am I talking about? Take the metaphor of a black hole, or as Einstein said, spooky action at a distance. What is spooky action at a distance? Spooky action at a distance is one atom could be all the way across the universe, but when that atom has a certain change, it will affect that other atom that's all the way across the universe. So it don't matter how many miles. This is why time is an illusion. Time and space is one and the same. Exactly, quantum entanglement. Time and space is one and the same. There is no time and there is no space. Spooky action at a distance proves that. One atom all the way over here, exactly, the butterfly effect, so on and so forth. One atom all the way over here can affect the atom all the way over there. This is what happens when we think. Spooky action at a distance is thought. In other words, when we think, we're affecting atoms. It could be universes away from us. We think we are tapping into frequencies that may be universes away from us, but because there truly is no time or space, we can instantly connect to it. As I said, that's why you can think about thoughts that have already been thought and expand on it. You don't have to think original thoughts. You expand on original thoughts, because when you think about when you ponder in images, now you're affecting spooky action at a distance. Did Rosicrucians say that too? Absolutely. This is the same thought. So when we think, we know that we don't think inside our head. Like, thought is not taking place inside of our head. Our thought is taking place in a whole other realm. The brain is just a transmitter of
A
the thought.
vessel.
But we can
It's
take
a vessel.
control of our brain. That's why we're able to think for ourselves. The brain, of course, has subconscious things that it does without us having to think. But we can take control of our brain and think what we want to think as well. So, spooky action at a distance, implosion. So what's happening? This is what time travel really is. This is the true essence of time travel. If we use an example of the black hole, if you ever observe the black hole, it disintegrates light. When you are sucking light into a black hole, the light starts to disintegrate and it turns into magnetism. Right? Remember, we said magnetism, electricity, ether, then light. Magnetism is first, then electricity, then ether, then light. So, when we think about the black hole, what's really happening is, yo, what's good, Afro Pick? What's good, what's good? When we think about the black hole, this is what's happening. When we encode our thoughts, when we expand upon original thought, the thoughts implode. They go inside of each other, or the masculine and the feminine combine together, right? An implosion happens. When that implosion happens, it creates a black hole somewhere else in the universe. So when we think and we ponder on our thoughts, and our thoughts or words become images, what's going on? We are creating black holes somewhere in the ethers. We're creating black holes somewhere in the ethers. What's going on is, when we talk about manifestation, it's about transmuting magnetism into crystallized thoughts, right? So this is what happens. When you observe a black hole, it disintegrates light. Light is disintegrated and the frequency condenses. Magnetism must condense into electricity. Electricity must condense into ether. Ether must condense into light. It's the same energy transmuted in this form. This is what happened. Let me give you another example, a technology example. We know that when we share files between each other using the computers, the file, when we we tap into the technology, the files don't come to you wholly. Let's just say you send somebody an email. The email breaks itself into several parts. We wait till the plane pass. When you send somebody an email, the email doesn't just go straight to them. It breaks itself into several smaller parts, such as peer-to-peer sharing, right? So one
Yeah.
whole thing is broken into smaller parts and is sent through the ethers or through the internet, and it reassembles itself when it arrives at its destination. So one whole thing breaks down or condenses into smaller parts, and it reassembles itself once it reaches its destination. The same thing happens with thoughts. When we implode our thoughts by pondering deeper, by thinking in images, we are creating black holes that are condensing our thoughts. So magnetism is being condensed into electricity. You can't really perceive electricity in this form. Light needs a medium to move. Light can't travel in and of itself. Light must travel through the ethers. So the electricity creates the ether so that the light can travel through. So, as I said, when we think we are creating black holes somewhere else in the universe, so it's pulling that light in, it's disintegrating that light. Peace, what's up, moon spirit? And it's going to come out as a crystallized thought. Magnetism becoming a crystallized thought. This is what it means to time travel. When you're thinking, all type of shit is going on elsewhere. Nonetheless, you're creating a black hole elsewhere, but it's pulling those thoughts down because now you're creating a portal or time traveling. So this thought is being pulled through this black hole, and what you're doing, the form is condensing. Magnetism, electricity, ether, light, gases, liquids, and solids. When it finally becomes a solid, or when it finally enhances itself or finalizes itself with the earth element, now you have a crystallized thought. That's all things are. Matter is just a crystallized. That's all matter is. That's all matter is. It's a crystallized thought, or in other words, it's crystallized light. Matter is just crystallized light. Light in this most condensed form to the point where it doesn't even it's not even perceived as light. You wouldn't look at a crystal and say, "Oh, this is light." There really is. It's crystallized or condensed light. Light in a crystallized form because thought has been light. Matter is just crystallized light. Light in this most condensed form to the point where it doesn't even it's not even this like at a crystal it really is. It's crystallized or condensed light. Light in a crystallized form because thought has transmuted this mind into matter. This magnetism has been transmuted into matter using thoughts. Spooky action at a distance, opening up black holes. The thoughts is being pulled through the black hole. That's why we can think it. The thoughts can be anywhere in the universe. This is how we can materialize things so that we can perceive them because we're pulling thoughts through these black holes because we are imploding our thoughts, pondering deeper, and utilizing our imagination. Right? Make sense? So again, it's not nothing I never said before, but I like to say things differently every time because it may spark the thought that it may not have sparked before. So again, we're not going to take up too much time. I just want to give you all that quick jewel. Just think about